Hey everybody, Dan here from Backyard Flair down in Tucson. Our newest installment for describing some of our fireplaces is going to be for the Douglas design. That's the Douglas design. It is a beautiful corner fireplace that's going to look great in your backyard. This is going to have a lot of features to it as far as some raised extension seating and some lower seating that goes in front of the firebox. It's a good sized firebox, 32 inches wide and approximately 28 inches tall. So the entire structure is 76 inches tall, so it's just over 6 feet, about almost 6.5 feet tall before you put your finished material on there. So the best part about this fireplace is the overall cost for the rough materials. Now that cost we've approximated that. Now we use the cost of goods in our area in Tucson for an approximation and an estimate for what it would cost for you to build. And we have gotten those costs to about $472. $471.75 is what we have. Now that obviously doesn't include tax or any kind of differences in cost for goods in your area, but you can round that up to $500 and you can build something like this for $500 in rough material. Now that's not going to include the slab and it's not going to include the finished material you put on this structure, but it's going to get you to a usable structure once the structure is built. So that includes all your mortar, your concrete for the structure itself. It's going to include the steel, it's going to include the cinder block, and it's going to include the fire brick. So it's going to get you to a usable structure. Now this footprint, I'm looking at this right now, is 14 feet and 7 inches wide at the widest point. Now when I say the widest point, it's going to be from this corner to this corner. So all the way across, if you were to draw a line down here and come all the way across, 14 foot 7 inches is the entire width of that structure from that corner to that corner. Now the back width is 64 inches and the depth of the seating is going to be 16 inches from here to here, and then the rest of that structure is 32 inches for the fireplace. So if you are looking for a corner design that's really nice and it's easy to build, a little bit of block cutting goes into this, so you're going to have to be cutting a little bit of cinder block. You will be cutting some fire brick, but we've made that super easy in our construction plans. What we have in here is we've got, now this is 27 pages like I said, so it's not a small document. We have a tools list that help you out with getting the right tools before you build. We have a building materials list, so this will go through all the different cinder blocks that you're going to need, the mortar count, the angle iron, the fire brick, some of the other things you're going to need to build. And then we're going to give you some things to think about before you build as far as where you're putting the structure. Is there anything around that might catch on fire? And we have the footprint on the inside of that. And then what we do is we get into building the block rows. So we use diagrams, as you can see, and a lot of written instructions. And we go row by row. We don't show you any more than 8 inches of construction at any given time. So once you have finished that structure and you've put everything together, we've given you some things at the end of this plan. It's kind of an idea about what you can do. Do you want to do faux stone? Do you want to do natural stone? Do you want to do a stacked stone or real stone finish? What do you want to put on the outside of the structure? And where you live may depend on what you are going to put on that structure. Sometimes a stucco wouldn't look right up in the northeast or the northwest, whereas a nice stacked stone would look really nice, a river rock finish would look really nice. There's a lot of different things you can do. We do not dictate that price at all because there's no one answer to that question. Those are wide arrays of price points, and we don't want to guess on what the finished product would be as far as cost. So one more thing that we do not cover in our plans is the thickness of the slab or the foundation that the structure is going to sit on. Now, there's a lot of things that, I get questions almost every day about how thick should my pad be? It's not in the plan. And we will usually respond with, if you're not in Tucson, we can't help you. And a good majority of the people that build these things are not in town. They're not in Tucson. They're all over the country, frankly, all over the world. And everybody will have a little bit different recipe for what they have to do to build their slab. So when you pour in your slab, things like frost line, does your ground freeze and how far down? Things like amount of rainfall you get. Are you building on a slope? Is your soil rocky? Is it mostly clay? Is it dry dirt? Is it always wet? Are you in a sandy climate like Florida? Are you in a swampy climate like Louisiana or East Texas? Are you in a super cold area like North Dakota? So a lot of those things will dictate how thick the slab needs to be, and if we told you how thick it would need to be, we would be guessing, and that's not fair to you. So one of the things that we usually will guide people in is go to Home Depot or go to Lowe's, go to one of your local home improvement stores, and you can go to the building department of some of those stores, and you can usually find somebody who has worked with concrete in the past, somebody who maybe is a retired contractor in that field. They have some intimate knowledge about how thick things would need to be in your area, in your geographic area where you're going to be building this fireplace. They can sometimes guide you. If you tell them I'm putting the fireplace on there, cinder block construction, it's 5,000 pounds or 6,000 pounds, then you can usually gauge how thick it needs to be by talking to some of those professionals. Good chance they've done something like that before and they can guide you in the right direction. So if there's any questions you have, I'm going to go ahead and put our contact information in the notes, and give us a call, give us a text, give us an email, send us a message on social media, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Facebook. We are Backyard Flair, and we are here to help you with DIY construction plans for fireplaces and pizza ovens and outdoor kitchens. Anything else you need us to design for you, we can do that, and they will be built to your specs for your backyard. Let us know. And I hope this has been very informative on our Douglas design. We're going to start doing these for a bunch of the different designs and going through these so everybody can see how they're put together and how good the plans are. So take care, and we'll be hearing from you. Happy building. Take care. Bye-bye.